Morning. Looks like we're up and running on YouTube, which is good. I'm just checking we're running on Facebook. Morning, Caroline. Oh, it drives me nuts trying to find everything. So you're on YouTube. What's going on with Facebook? It says it's connected. Can't find me. Ah, there I am. Morning on Facebook. Morning, Kathleen. I was trying to go live on the Fairy Hugs store, not Fairy Hugs store, Fairy Hugs website, but it said it failed. So I think it's lying. It says it's not there. I don't know why it failed. But anyway, we're live on my Julia Watts Crafts Facebook page, and we're also live on YouTube, which is good. So I'm going to abandon my laptop and we will crack on. Hi Di. So, as the title suggests, we're looking at the fairy tale collection from Fairy Hugs, and that is going to be released tomorrow on Create and Craft with Tanya, who's got the unfortunate slot of 7 AM and 11 AM tomorrow. I shan't be watching the 7 AM. I'll be in the shower probably at that time. So yes, sorry about that, Tanya. But then she's also on at 11 AM, which I should probably catch. And then the collection will be available on my website, which is juliawattscrafts.co.uk, from midnight tomorrow night. So either tomorrow night or first thing on Wednesday morning, they'll be there live. My stock is due on Wednesday. It's a bit later because the stock was late getting into Fairy Hugs HQ. So if UPS do the job, then I'll get it on Wednesday. Sometimes it's quite late on Wednesday. So really and truly, I'll probably end up posting everything out on Thursday. Because I don't think I'm going to manage it all on Wednesday. So that's for UK shipping. If you're outside the UK, then you can get them from fairyhugs.com for worldwide shipping, and I suspect that they will be available tomorrow, kind of late morning, early afternoonish from fairyhugs.com. But if you're in the UK, don't buy them from fairyhugs.com because you'll end up with shipping charges and sometimes import taxes and sometimes Royal Mail handling fees. So don't do that. Buy them from me. Anyway, so let's crack on. And I thought what we'd do, because obviously some people come in late, I thought instead of going through all the collection straight away, I thought what we'd do is we'd actually do a demo, then we'd go through the whole collection, then we'd do another couple of demos. I thought that's what we'd do. That's the plan anyway. So to begin with, I thought, because there's 2 new paper pads, it's been a while since we've had new paper pads. I think it was January, and we've got 2. And this is one, and it's called Lotus Wish. You see, mine's already been used. But you can see the designs on the cover. Let's see if I can get all the cover in for you. So they're pastel shades, and you've got lots of them that have got like dots around the edge. So you've got 6 of those times 2, so you've got 12 because they're double-sided. And then you've got some with moons kind of watercolory kind of backgrounds on there as well. And you've got 6 of those times 2, 12. And then you've got kind of just watery backgrounds as well. Like I say, they're double-sided. I think that was the cat, not me. They're 216 GSM and 6x6. So they are really, really lovely. We like them a lot at the design team, and I know a lot of my customers absolutely love them, and some of them sell out really, really quickly. Like I say, you can see I've been at mine. So we're going to use a paper from that first of all. I'll show you the other one when I do my second demo. So what I thought we'd do is the first sample I shared of mine was this one. And there was a comment by somebody, and I can't remember who it was, so I apologise. So I thought we'd actually incorporate a comment that somebody made and change the card ever so slightly. So we get into the stamping platform, and instead of using the one that's just a big cloud, we're going to use this one. I think we're going to use it, I don't know which way to use it. Let's use it that way, doesn't really matter. I've trimmed this down to 5.5 inches square, just because I want a smaller one. We're not doing any masking with this one. We are going to do masking when we get to the next ones. Hi Julia, hi Heather. Just to recap, Julia and Heather, what we're going to do is, I haven't been through all the collection yet. We're just going to do a quick demo, very, very quick, simple demo, and then we're going to go through everything that is new. So we're going to use, what have I done with it? I've lost it. Put someone else in another pile. There it is. I'm going to use the Castle Tower. All the stamps I'm using are new, obviously. Hopefully you can see that. It's just brightening up here, actually. It's been very cloudy all day so far. I think this is going to be one of the most popular stamps. It's so useful for lots of different reasons. So the plan is to have that Castle Tower, and we're going to have Haku or Haiku, whether it's a soft or a hard A. We're going to have him on top of the tower, so we need to make sure that our tower is so he can fit in. And I did see Jess has done a red dragon, and he looks fabulous in red, so we might do a different colour dragon actually. So let's get that tower on there first of all. You don't need to, like I say, we don't need to mask this at all. We'll be fine. Make sure we're good. I'll make sure I fit him all in. Yep, that's good. That's fine. Hopefully that's straightish. And we're going to stamp this in Morning Mist, which is the grey. Move my ink pads. I did this the other day. My ink pads were out of reach, which is not a good thing to do. So Morning Mist, Versafine Clair, with the stonework. And if you've not used them before, I do highly recommend the Fairy Hugs papers, because they are, although they do actually absorb the ink, so you can't actually watercolour with them. You need to water down your mediums first. They are quite forgiving when you come to stamping. A lot of the time you do actually get the image first time, which is just wonderful. Obviously stamping platforms help anyway. Oh, here's my iPad. Oh, what happened there? There's our tower. Fabulous. And then we're going to, hi Pam. The dragon's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. There's actually, in this collection, there's actually not any fairies. I lie. There is there's a collection of fairies, but there's not an actual fairy per se. Now, what have I done with the carrier sheet for that? Oh, it'll turn up in a minute. Myself nuts. There it is. It's underneath that black piece of card. That's our castle tower. Then we're going to take Haiku or Haku or whatever you pronounce it. Be interesting to see how Tanya pronounces it, because I haven't got a clue. His stand up so I can see. I need to put his feet on top of the tower like that. Now you could mask off the tower if you wanted to, but there's so little of the dragon going over the edge, and because he's quite solid, it's not really worth worrying about, and obviously it's quicker not to mask. But I do have a mask of him. See, there's a mask of him, and I've got a mask of the tower. So I've obviously done him in purple at some point. So that's the colour that's on there. What colour should we do in? I don't want to do him too light. So let's have him as, let's have a blue dragon maybe. Let's have Bluebell, because we've got blue in the background there, so let's have that. You can do whatever colour you want. That's the thing with stamping. If you wanted to have a pink castle, you could have a pink castle. You can do whatever you want. Make sure he's at the edge and give him a good old press, especially around that area where he's overlapping. We might want to do him twice. We'll see. We'll have a look at him. Good old press. Give him a chance to release. Come on. There he is. He's just fabulous. Oh, I'm not very good at this, am I? You'd think I would be after all this time. He's just wonderful, isn't he? Morning, Jean. Yes, all the background papers are fabulous. This is from a new one called Lotus Wish. And for once, they're not actually put in, because in the past, all the Fairy Hugs papers have been, the name has just run into one. So for example, Lotus Wish would be all one word. But now, they're actually splitting them up. So it's Lotus and Wish. Don't know why. I don't know why it's changed, but it has. So this is Haiku, or Haku, however you pronounce it. So he's up there. Then the comment that there was that he looked like he was scared of a mouse. And we do have set 259, a set of mice. And we've got mice that have got lanterns, and we've got left and right in different sizes. And I thought we'd just use this tiny little mouse here, because it's like an elephant, isn't it? And an elephant is scared of mice. Oh, what have I got there? I've got a line in there. Where's that come from? I don't know. We're going to have a little mouse at the bottom of the steps there that's frightened the dragon. And at the same time, we're going to stamp our sentiment. Be strong, brave and fearless. Which is a bit of a joke really, isn't it? If a dragon is frightened of a little mouse. Excuse me. Got a bit excited there. Let's just check that that's straight-ish. It looks straight-ish. What colour should we do the mouse? We should do the mouse in grey as well. It's not spelled H-I-K. H-I-A, oh, Caroline. It's not spelled H-A-I-K-U. It's actually H-A-K-U. There's no I in it. It could be a spelling mistake, but there's no I in it. That's how you spell it. There's our grey mouse. Morning, June. And there's our sentiment in black. So our grey mouse is at the bottom there. I bet I've got a cat hair on that stamp. I'll check it before I stamp it again. Which is very annoying. I'll tell him off later. Honestly, there's so much hair coming out of our head at the moment. I think we need to stamp that mouse again. That's better. Okay. So now, if we pop it onto a bit of black card, we've got our dragon who's frightened of a little mouse. It's hilarious, isn't it? Right, okay, so that's our first one. All done. Let me just tidy up. I have a feeling it might be a spelling mistake, Caroline. It has been known. Right, let's put our Mises away. I do have a couple of Mies sets left. So I've also created on my website a little section, because on the main menu there's a fairy hug section, and there's a little drop down from that, and you can where does that go? That goes in. And you can select which collection or which type of theme you're after. And I have set up the fairy tale one, and I put the mice in there. They go with Cinderella as well, don't they? Right, so should we run through the collection? As I said I would. I said we'd do a quick demo, then we'd run through the collection. So, first of all, we have Phelan, and he is one of the wolves. And yeah, so he works with the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale, because there are 4 fairy tales: Little Red Riding Hood, the 3 Little Pigs, Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. Those are the 4 fairy tales. This is Nora. She's actually Little Red Riding Hood, because obviously who knows what Little Red Riding Hood's proper name is, but it's Nora. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is. Then we've got this really useful set called Forest Furs. So Forest Furs is obviously going to be useful for all of your kind of foresty scenes, including Christmas, because you can put your bits of snow on there. So I think that's a really, really good set to have. This is Grandma's house, but it could be any cottage. You can put, you know, on the garden theme, you can use some of the garden collection that we had last month. You can put little fences around it. You could put the gnomes in there as well. So it doesn't have to necessarily be in the fairy tale theme. This is Sleeping Rose, in other words, Sleeping Beauty. So obviously she's fast asleep, and then she's got a little set of roses there with her. Then we've got the Castle Tower, which I've just used, which is one of my favourites from this collection. And we've got the dragon that I've just used as well. Then we've got some foliage, and this is your briar bush. So obviously the thorny briars all around where Sleeping Beauty's sleeping in the, I believe, in the fairy tale. We've got thorn tree, which is really useful for, you know, as a tree, but you can use it as foliage at the top of your project and at the bottom if you want to. And these are the only fairies that we've got in this particular Fairy Hugs release. These are your fairy princesses. And I think there's 3 with Sleeping Beauty, but we've got 5. So you've got different poses, and you've got right and left and all that sort of stuff. And they're very, very pretty. And they're bigger than all the dwellers. All the dwellers are really teeny tinies, but these are a really good size. And I will use those in the 3rd demo today. We've got the Starry Walkway, which can be used at any point to put some stars in the sky. We've also got Almost Midnight, which is a beautiful clock. Obviously this is going to go with the Cinderella theme, but you can use it at any point. We have the Dancing Duo, which is obviously going to be Cinderella and her prince, and you've got a separate shoe there because she's lost the shoe off the foot that's slightly in the air. But you could use this for any dance themed projects. It doesn't necessarily have to be fairy themed. We have the Pumpkin Coach. Obviously this is with Cinderella as well, but you can bring some of the Halloween pieces into this, like the pumpkin stack. You could even bring in witchy dwellers in there if you wanted to. We have the glass slipper. So we've got the single slipper with stars around it, and you've got that cushion. That cushion reminds me of Aladdin a little bit, but yes. Then we go on to our Three Pigs story. So we've got our straw house, we have our twig house, and we have our brick house as well. We also have Howler, who's the second of the wolves, and we have a wind gust. Now this wind gust has got leaves in it, so you can use this as foliage if you want to all year round. We have the Three Little Pigs, which we've called Hoggies, and obviously they're going to go with that particular nursery rhyme. Then we have a selection of sentiments. We have Fearless, which is the one that I've just used. We also have this one, which is Colour Your Life, which unfortunately for us UK people, it's the American spelling of colour. It's not going to sell in the UK, but obviously we have people all over the world that buy Fairy Hug stamps, so they might want that one. And then we have Know Its Beauty, which is a really, really lovely sentiment. May you walk gently through this world and know its beauty all the days of your life. But it's set out like steps, so you can have some of the fairy princesses stood on it. You could have it as a pathway coming from grandma's house. So that is quite a really useful sentiment, and it's nice to see it in a different kind of layout as well. And then we've got Dream a Wish. Dream is a wish from your heart. Oh. They are fantastic sentiments. And then you've got your two paper pads, which we've just looked at the Lotus Wish. Again, they're 6x6, 24 double-sided sheets, 24 designs, 2 sheets of each, and 216 GSM, like all the other paper pads. I do have my stock of this already. As I was saying at the beginning, my stock is due in on Wednesday. The stock didn't get into Fairy Hugs HQ until Friday, so, and then they had to pack it. So my order's gone in today, and it should be here on Wednesday if UPS do the job. But realistically, I won't be able to dispatch till Thursday. This is to UK addresses only, but it's still going to be a lot quicker than if you order from Create & Craft. So yeah. And then our final new paper pad is Cloud Drop. So same setup with the GSM and the size, etc, etc. But here you've got more kind of inky backgrounds, if you like, that are more kind of scene based. But I mean, they both are really good, useful paper pads, and I'm going to use that one in a minute. So I'll quickly, as I always do, because on Create & Craft it's very difficult to show, that they don't show all the samples that the design team make. So I will run you through all of the design team samples, because they, well, time, isn't it? So just to remind you, you will find all the products on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, from midnight tomorrow night. So that's midnight on Tuesday evening that they'll be live. And my stock is due in on Wednesday, and probably the dispatch will be from Thursday, depending on when UPS get here on Wednesday. And then, so that's for UK addresses, and then you will also find them at fairyhugs.com. I suspect they'll go live tomorrow late morning for us, early afternoon. And that's for worldwide shipping. But if you're in the UK, don't buy from Fairy Hugs, because you'll end up with shipping charges and Royal Mail charges and maybe VAT, etc, etc. So do order from me if you're in the UK. So let's look at the design team samples. I'll very quickly go through mine. So that's a version of what we've just done. Then we've got the Dancing Duo. I did use my Rotate Mate there for the slipper that she's lost. Very, very simple. I started really simple. I like to get to know my stamps, so my first cards are really, really simple. Then we've got Filan and the Straw House and one of the piggies. And obviously the Wind Gust is there. This is a bit of experiment. I'm not really sure whether I like that. One of the piggies, which I masked off, and then I've got the Wind Gust around it and just Dream a Wish. It was an experiment. I did it all by just in my stamping platform, not with my Rotate Mate. So and at this point I start to do things, get used to it. So here we've got a scene with all three of the houses, and the piggies stood in front of their houses, and we've got the Bride Bush at the bottom and the Thorn Tree at the top, and Fearless. Then we've got your Dancing Duo and the Starry Walkway at the bottom. You can see her little shoe just there on the walkway. You've got Almost Midnight. That one there. Did I show you that one? I think I did. Did I miss that one out? I think I missed that stamp out. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's your that branch. What's it called? Sorry. I must have missed loading that picture up. It's called Enchanted Branch. That branch with all the things dropping off of it, that's called Enchanted Branch. So apologies for not loading that one on. Then we've got Grandma's House with some of the Forest Firs and Nora and Filan. And this is the one I shared today, and we'll make a version of that. Quite a bit of masking going on, but I think it kind of works. You've got the pumpkin carriage there, Dancing Duo, the Castle Tower, Thorn Tree, Almost Midnight, and that's the Know It's Beauty sentiment with the fairy princess walking up it. It does work well. Then we've got Sleeping Beauty here, or Sleeping Rose, or Rose Prince. What's she called? Sleeping Rose, I think she's called. Sorry. I haven't used her very much. Oh, there, Sleeping Rose. I ought to use her. Any stamps I don't use, I'll try and do some videos for you. And then I've done this one, which I thought was a bit of fun. Howler's just howling, and he's sending loads of stars with the glass slipper on the cushion all over the place. Then we've got Bonnie's. So Bonnie's samples won't be at the studio, but she shares them on social media, and she's done some videos for some of them. So obviously she's done a little bit of masking, and she's got the pigs peering around the brick house there. And then you've got, that's the one of the stone walkways, and I think it's the regular one, not the mini one. And she's got the furs there as well, and Howler. And then we've got another one with the pigs. The other two houses, the Twig House and the Straw House, and a similar sort of setup. And here you've got, that's the Enchanted Branch twice across the top, and you've got the Castle Tower with the Starry Walkway coming as a pathway from that. That works really well. And again, coming from the pumpkin carriage from the steps of there, that's really cool. It's got the Dancing Duo on the walkway there, and here the Dancing Duo just behind the pumpkin carriage. So they really do work really well. And we've got the Sleeping Rose, and Haku or Haku is on top of the tower again. You'll probably see him on top of the tower a lot because he fits really well. And here he's on top of the thorn tree. So yeah, change of scenery. He's keeping guard over Sleeping Rose. Grandma's House and Nora and Filan there, and some Forest Firs. Again, Grandma House, and you can see there's the Know It's Beauty used as a pathway from Grandma's house, which is really, really effective. I love this one. I love the simplicity of this one. So we do have a sentiment called Once Upon, which is an old sentiment. I'm going to be using it. It's way back. It's number 130, and we're at over 600 now, so that's how old it is. But obviously, Julia found a video for Rotate Mate. Yeah, I gave you a list of videos, Jean, for the Rotate Mate. Not sure what you're saying there, my lovely. Yeah, so Once Upon is a really useful one to have with this collection, and you can see Bonnie's just used the slipper. She's done a little bit of masking, so she's got 2 of them, a pair of shoes with one of the fairy princesses, and she's also used one of the Lotus Wish papers, and she's used the what's it called? Is it called Snow Flurry? I think it's called. One of the stencils there in the background. And I love this too, a book cover with Haiku sitting on the Once Upon a Time or Once Upon sentiment, which works really, really well. So you can imagine you can get yourself a really good set of a really good storybook going with this. Then we're on to Jessie's 3 Little Pigs, and we've got the Dancing Duo here. Obviously you can watch this back and have a really good look at these and pause the video. Sleeping Beauty, that's the red dragon. Isn't that dragon effective in red? Love that. Again on the Once Upon. Grandma's House and Nora. Then we've got Pumpkin House, again that Once Upon featuring, and I love the castle there nestling amongst the furs. Oh good, that's good, Jean, yeah. Then we've got the 3 Little Pigs and their houses, and again we've got Haiku there, and he's looks like he's blowing out some of the wind gusts. He's going to sit very well on the sentiments, as you can see there. Dancing Duo playing. We've got several fairy tales here. We've got Dancing Duo, we've got the 3 Little Pigs, and we've got Sleeping Rose on that one. In the Forest is Philin there with the Know It's Beauty sentiment, and I like this. Is you can do a whole row of castles if you do a little bit of masking. That works really, really well. So there's just 2 there. And Jess has also done a journal page, and she's used the Fairy Dictionary there in the background, and I think that's absolutely super. And you can see she's used the pumpkin snack and also the mice there on that page. Then the final member of the design team is for the TV is Archangel. You will see on the Fairy Hug Store Facebook group, you will see in a few weeks the social media design team sharing their makes with the collection as well. So here we got Nora and Grandma's House in the centre of this. Now Archangel's done an awful lot of these kind of not stepper cards, are they? Easel cards. She seems to have loved these, and she's working with colour quite a bit. You can see Haiku on top of the castle tower there, and then you've got the inside there, and that's the stop a bit. Here's another one with the Dancing Duo. That's the inside, the front rather, and that's the stop a bit. That's fine, June. Then we've got another one here with the tower and the glass slipper. So that's the front, and is that the right one? Hang on, let me go. No, that's the stop a bit, isn't it? Have I got the wrong one? No, that's the front. And that's the stop a bit. Then we've got this one with the Sleeping Rose. There she is on the front. And there's the stop a bit with the cushion. And then she's also done a little book. Now, apologies if I've got the book in the wrong order, because there's a lot of photographs. And I'm not sure how big the book is, but it's a little book. And I think that in some of the places, although I didn't find it in the Fairy Hugs page, in the Fairy Hugs store, she's shared the little story, which is quite funny. So again, we've got the Once Upon and the dragon around that, and the pig. And it's all about the pigs and using all of the stamps in the collection. You can see that straw house, Howler's trying to blow down the twig house, there's the brick house, and they're all kind of thinking, we're all right, we've beat you there. I think that's the stone pedestal that Howler's sat on there. Look, blowing the pigs over. And then she's done one of these kind of kinetic cards with the 3 little pigs as well. And then there's a couple of black cards, beautiful cards. Grandma's house and Nora, and then we've got the pumpkin house again, the pumpkin stack, and the little mice featuring from other collections. And then finally we've got this beautiful one where the dancing couple are dancing in front of the castle tower with the starry walkway in the background. So those are all the samples and all the stamps that are there. So let's do another demo, shall we? And as I said, they're on TV tomorrow with Tanya at 7 AM and 11 AM, and they'll be available on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, from midnight tomorrow night. And they will also be, for shipping to UK addresses, they will also be available at fairyhugs.com at some point tomorrow for worldwide shipping. Right, now we're using Cloud Drop. So this is the second of the new paper pads, and this one is, as you can see from the front, this is a lot of, it's got that texture in it. You know, sometimes we have texture that's on the paper pads. They are completely flat, the texture's in the paper design, but you can see that they are perfect for your kind of ground and hills and all sorts of stuff like that. And you've got really nice colourways, quite vibrant, and that's your Cloud Drop. So I picked this one, and we have a plan for this one as well. That's my son banging the doors. Everything echoes around this house because we don't have carpets, or we only have one set of curtains. Right, so we're going to use the 3 little pigs, and I think we're only going to use 2 of the houses. We're not going to use the straw house this time because I'm going to just fit it on this. I could use all 3, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just use 2. So we're going to pop, the idea is we're going to pop the brick house perhaps on the topish of this colour, and we're going to have the twig house down here like so. Howler's going to come in here. Actually, I didn't pick up the wind gust. Where's the wind gust? What did I do with that? There it is, need the wind gust as well. He's going to be blowing a bit of wind. This is the wind gust. Like that. And then the huggies are going to be, one's going to be in front actually, and then 2 are going to be hiding behind. And then we're also going to, we are actually going to use the Once Upon in the corner there. So that's the theory. So let's just fetch some of these off of the carrier sheets so we can make our scene and see exactly where we're going to get it. So we're using the printed side. So that's going to go about there. This one's going to go here. I'm going to do a little bit of masking first of all, because I want to stamp one of the piggies in front. I think this one, these are going to be, yeah, I think this one's going to be in front of this house. So I'm just going to put him, I think I'm going to put him in front of the flower pot. I shall put him in front, just put him partly in front of the door, partly in front of the flower pot, because we want to mask him, we've got to get him on first and him stamped first. So the piggies, what colour do I normally stamp them with? I normally think I stamp them with the Morning Mist. So we do these with grey. Okay, there he is. Looks quite lonely, doesn't he, on that there on the page on his own. Okay, so let's put him back. We'll need those again in a minute, but we've got the masks in the back. I've got a mask for each of them. Yes, I've lost one. There it is. He's hiding. That's the one I want. So I've used masket sheet from Woodwear, and we're gonna. I've put it in slightly inside the line, and we're gonna pop this mask on him. See, this is the tricky bit, getting it lined up. Not bothered about the down bit. It's not right. Hang on. I don't want to lose all of his tail. That looks better, slightly. Doesn't want to stick there anyway. Right, okay. So now we're going to pop the twig house over the top of him. Whatever I've done with it. There it is. And he's going to just be slightly over the door, like that. And we're going to do the brick house at the same time. And that's going to be up here, I think. I'm not going to put pathway up to them, because you don't have to if you don't want to. And we're going to stamp both of these. We're going to do them in the same colour, I don't know. Oh, look at this, the mask's come off. My sticky stamp. It's because they're quite new stamps. On his head. Let's see, let's stamp them in. I'll go for Acorn first, Fine Claire. Yeah, the Woodwear masket sheets are really, really useful. Just make sure we're right up to the corner. You watch your mask come off again. Oh, it's staying this time. Actually, I need to give more attention around by where the mask is. I forgot about that. Give it a really good press around where the mask is. I'm just going to go again because that's a little bit light in places. That one's perfect. So I'm just going to ink this one up again. It's got such fine detail on it. Just around there. It's the open areas that just need a bit of attention. That's it. That's better, I think. Okay, good, excellent. Right, so that's acorn. Yeah, you have to have a bit of patience with it. The thing is, because you know it's going to happen anyway. Jean's saying you have to be patient because of with the mask, but because I know it happens all the time. And to be honest, I normally chill out quite a lot when I'm doing this sort of stamping, because I really like it. That's the brick house, so that's going here. We've got the twig house. Going there. Now we can take off the mask here. Oh, I didn't get it all in there. It's all right. We'll say it's okay. So now he's in front of that. I've missed a bit there. I didn't press hard enough just there. But it's okay. We won't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody if you don't. So nobody will know. It's our secret. So I'll put them back into the back and sheet back on again so I can keep them and use them for another day. Then we want to mask off the brick house. There's my brick house. Have I not got a mask of the brick house? Do you know I haven't got a mask of the brick house, and that's the one I want to mask off. Right, we'll make one then. It won't take a minute. Fancy not having one. There's a block. Will do. Piece of basket sheet. I did this the other day as well, I forgot. Oh, where did that bit go? I've got a mask for all of them except this one. So that was good planning, wasn't it? Good planning. I'd have put the twig at the top and the brick at the bottom, then I'd have been fine. But that's just me. That's just me. Hopeless. I'm memory like a sieve at the moment. I can't believe we're on to another bank holiday this weekend. Seems to be always coming. I'm not a fan of bank holidays really. Right, so I'm not going to bother cutting out the foliage. We're not bothered about that. I have to be careful because it takes a while to dry on this and you end up smudging it. So I'm not going to be too careful about this bottom bit. I am going to cut, sometimes I don't cut it all out, but this is really easy cutting out. So I'll do that solid area, sort of, and then we'll cut that just inside the line. I like these little scissors. They're Tim Holtz Snips, I think they're called, which I got off Amazon. Somebody spotted they were on offer a while ago. Oh, I had me some of them. Okay, that'll do. Right, so now I've got one. Win-win. Keep the carrier sheet and then pop that on there. And then we get our other two huggies. He can be like that. And he can be peering around the corner on that side maybe. They probably look like they're giants because they're not that tall, are they? You don't have to have his whole body through. Right, let's try it like that. I'm going to see how funny it looks. Is it going to pull the mask off? Put another magnet on. And we want the grey again. What did I do with the grey? I'll put it back. Now there it is. No, Jean, I don't sell the snips. I got them off Amazon. Because they're tonic. All Tim Holtz's tools are tonic, and I don't do tonic. Bit of attention where that mask is. More there. Although it is a very thin sheet, you do have to give it more attention. So there you've got pigs either side. That one's just peering around. He's not as brave as that one. Right, put this one in the brick house. So I've got that for next time. And we put my huggies away. Just a set of 3 because there's only 3 pigs. So obviously when we've had our dancing whatevers and reading hedgehogs, they're all sets of 5, but it's the fairy princesses that are sets of 5, but you just get 3 huggies. Then we're going to have our, obviously I will colour it in. Then we're going to have our howler, who is our wolf. He's going to be here, huffing and puffing and trying to blow the house down. And we do him in grey as well, I think. So he's going to be all in mist as well. Yeah, when you're using, Jean's saying sometimes she gets it confused with masks. You need to think about what you want in the foreground and what you want in the background. So what you want in the foreground is what you stamp first and what needs to be masked off. Sometimes I struggle to get my head around it as well. So you're not the only one, Jean. So this is Howler. There he is. Here's Howler. I mean, he is a wolf, but he could be a German Shepherd, couldn't he? So he could be a dog. That's Howler. And then you've got the Wind Gust, which is obviously he's kind of blowing. So that's going to come out of his mouth like so. And because I don't want it as dark as he is, I've got my mini archivals out, which could be big archivals, but I don't have all the archivals, the big ones. And this is Shadow Grey, which is a really light grey. Now, it isn't that easy to stamp with the archivals as it is the VersaFine Clear. I certainly wouldn't have a go at silhouettes with it, because it's just a nightmare. I've tried. I keep on wanting to use them, but it doesn't work. So we're going to go with Shadow Grey to get a lighter colour with the Wind Gust. Like I say, it can be used as foliage because there's leaves in it. So it's like a foliage spray as well. Don't get too fussy. So that's ever so light. This might, when I did it before, it was on a light paper, so you could see it. I might swap to watering can. I don't want it to be as dark as the Morning Mist. I mean, I could stamp it off and then stamp it a second time. I could do second generation. That's better. It's just very, very light. So that's the Wind Gust. There's away. You will find that, I mean, a lot of VersaFine Claire's stainless stamps, but Archival does stainless stamp. Whatever colour you use. That's Wind Gust. And then we're going to stamp the Once Upon. Up here. Make sure that's straight. Go for black. I always like to do sentiments in black so they really stand out. I'll tell you what we could do. Let's see if we can. I don't think we can. Bring it in and explain in a minute. It's pretty good. I'm just going to go again because it's really dark. I might bring some foliage in actually. That's Once Upon, which is not part of the Fairy Tale collection, this one, but it does fit with the Fairy Tale collection perfectly. Let's go for, where's the, put it up here, I think. could bring some foliage in. I might change my mind, I might not bother. These magnets out of the way. So it's a little bit bare. They look like they're floating in mid-air, don't they? We could bring some foliage in up here. Let's do that. This is your thorn tree, which is great to use with Sleeping Beauty, and also you saw that Haiku the dragon can sit on top of it. Let's just bring in some foliage around the corner there. 97 million magnets. And we'll use, what did I do with it? Can't find a green when I put a blue on top of it. Just wrong. See, this is a well-used stamp. Just got some spooky foliage coming in at the edge. We could bring actually. There we are. Thinking. See, brain's in gear now. Let's just bring some just down here as well. Going the wrong way. It won't fit that way, Julia. It's going to be that way. I want some there as well. It won't fit that way, It does balance, yes, that's right. That's what I thought. I thought it would balance it. And it's such a useful stamp, this thorn tree. Okay. That's that. I'll use that in the next one as well. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Not too bad. What did I do with that carrier sheet? There it is. I was wondering if, where are they? I wonder if I could get, oh, they're joined. Those two pieces are joined. Right, I wonder if that would fit on there. I don't want those two joined. I think originally these were supposed to be separate. When you don't cut into your stamp, you can do whatever you want to with your stamps. are your stamps. So I want to have that mouse on there, but he's looking up. I don't want him to be looking up. So having split them, I might not go for that one anyway. I might go for this one here. Let's see what it looks like. I do want them separate anyway. I don't want them together. Right. Just see, I don't want that tail to obliterate that. I don't know why he's in blue. And we'll call it a day in this one. I might end up making a mask and putting a little pathway going down there. Might. I might not. But you could. There we go. Once upon a time. Now somebody's at the door. Sorry about that. Okay, so this one's done. No, I can't see them, Jean. I don't think many people are watching today. Okay, so let's just pop this on a piece of black card so you can see what it would look like. And obviously I'll colour it in and I'll share it when I've coloured it in. There we go. So let's move on to number 3. And we're back to the Lotus Wish. So I'll just quickly show you the Lotus Wish again, which is the, there's 2 new paper pads. There's a Cloud Drop and the Lotus Wish. So this is the Lotus Wish, which has got, it's more pastel, and you've got little dots around the edges, and you've got scenes, and you've got lots of kind of watery, coloury pastel bits and pieces. So you can see, like so. Really lovely paper pad, really different with the kind of these ones. So you can see I've been at mine quite a bit. So this is the one I've chosen for this one. Again, we've got a plan. What Nathan's doing. Right. Let's pop that in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a variation of this one, which I shared today, which has got quite a bit of masking with it, but it is a useful technique to do, and again you need to kind of think about what you want to do and when. So the plan is to have, let's see. The plan is to have the dancing duo. And we're going to bring in that wonderful castle again, castle tower. So, so useful. And that's going to go, let's take them off here actually. Take them off the front sheet. So that's going to go about here with the spire in the sunshine. So we are saying it's sunshine, I think. I don't know, maybe we're not. So these are going to go here. Then we will bring in the pumpkin carriage, and the pumpkin carriage is going to go here. So they're going to be, that needs to be over just a little bit. Do you plan it? And it's okay if their foot is over there because they're going to be masked off anyway. And then we'll bring in some of the thorn tree on the edge here. And we'll also use the Almost Midnight, which is going to come in on the here somewhere, just overlapping the tower. So let's start by getting the fairy couple stamped. That's fairy couple, dancing duo. They're not a fairy couple at all. Right, so I'm going to have them about there, I think. And they're going to be stamped in Nocturne, which is the black. Good old press. Probably will need to do them twice because they are a silhouette. That ink a chance to settle in. Ooh, pretty good, pretty good. I'll show you. Absolutely magical. Excuse me. Just do them a second time so that they're nice and dark. I hope that paper hasn't moved. I did butt it up to the edge. There's two sides to a piece of card though, so we can always turn it over. At this point, it's not a mess. When I did this originally, I forgot that I wanted to have this, what I was doing, and I actually stamped these at the end because my scene was developing, and I thought, oh, I'll put the dancing couple on there, and then I realised that it didn't really work because you could see the castle through it, and so I just turned the paper over and started all over again. But this was the last thing I stamped rather than the first, so then I realised it needed to be the first. Yeah, anniversary card. Yeah, because he's not like dressed as a prince. He's got a tuxedo on, so yeah, he could absolutely be anniversaries, weddings, anything really. That's the wrong one. That's the dancing duet. So now we need to get their mask out. Now normally when I do this, I'll kind of go away a bit and I won't actually put the mask on straight away because it doesn't stick as well while that Burst Fine Clear is drying. But we've no choice, we've got to do it. I always put them back on the carrier sheet. I quite often lose my carrier sheets and then I have to hunt for them, but they all turn up eventually. Let me stand up so I can see. No, see, it doesn't want to stick, and probably when I put the stamp down it won't. So I'm going for our clock tower next, which is the next layer, and we're going to pop that about there, I think, on top of the blue section. Oops, come up. I'll put it down again then. And then we're going for Morning Mist for the clock, for the tower. And it'll probably come up again because it doesn't want to stick when because I remember I stamped it twice. So pay more attention around where the mask is. Give it a good old press. This is why you cut on the inside of the mask so that you stand more chance of getting right the way up to the edge of the image. Oh, it hasn't come up, that's good. So it looks pretty good around him actually. Happy with that. I'll show you. Then I think we'll do the pumpkin carriage next while our mask is still in place, which it probably will come up. Need that mask in a minute. So the pumpkin carriage is here. And I'm going to stamp this in the grey as well, because then, as you can see from this here, because I've just used my Sentimentally Yours watercolour blending brush pens, I was able, because I did it in grey, I was able to go over the top and the carriage looks more orangey. So if you're stamping a lighter colour, then you can actually, it's easier to colour in over the top. Stay, will you please? Now this is going to go about here, I think. Have another magnet just there. Right up to the corner. You watch, I'll pick it up. Leave my mask alone. It's not yours. Leave it. So and so. This is the bit I've got to worry about down here now. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the top, we're only going to worry about the bottom. Except that that's skewy now. Stay. Mist, where are you? There you go. I'm glad it's been useful, Jean. So obviously you've got to give a bit more attention around the carriage wheels because that's where the mask overlaps. And we do have solid areas there with the actual pumpkin as well. And if we can get away with not stamping it a second time, I'll be very happy. Oh, no. I know you've got ink there, matey. Let's hope that hasn't moved. I need to re-ink my Morning Mist because I've used that quite a bit. I have got re-inkers in stock still for the VersaFine Clairs, as well as all the colours of VersaFine Clair if you need them. Oh, it moved, you little so-and-so. That's so annoying, that's moved. Right, I can't live with that. Right, so we're going to have to start again. Sorry, this is what we do, we start again. That was coming on so nicely. It's my fault for not making sure it was butted. What have we got on the other side? I don't want that one. I want another one of those. That one's not going to work so well for what I want to do now. So I'll use that another time. That's so annoying. Which one is it? So if I've got another one. If I haven't, then I will use something else. Is that the one? That's the one. I would say I'll stamp the carriage first, but I can't because it's going to be overlapping the dancing couple. So we've got to start again. Sorry. I just can't live with that. I can see that it's just not right. I can't live with that. Sorry. Let's just trim a little tiny bit off. Just a slither. Just because of where we've taken it from the pad. Right. Oh, he's doing so well. No, it definitely isn't right, Jean. I know how it should look, and that's not right. Right, let's put this here a second. Where's my? Here it is. Right. But right way up into the corner. I'm going to get my re-inker out as well. If you're struggling a lot of the time with your stamping, then it is sometimes it's just that you need to re-ink. Obviously make sure you put the right colour on, it helps. That's so annoying, so annoying. Right, so rewind, pretend that never happened. This is going up there, like so. And the dancing couple are going on here, like so. Right into the corner. Nocturne. One of the annoying things as well is when you intend to use a mask, but then you forget to put it on. And that normally happens at the end as well. You know, when you've done all your stamping and then you make a mess. Right, let's put the lid on that now it's inked. Right into the corner. I'm just going to turn it over, Jean. I'm not going to waste that. I'll use the other side. I'll use that side for something because the ink hasn't gone through. Because it's 216 GSM, which is actually a card weight. It's fine. It's not a problem. That's the first time I've done a bad stamping, actually, in this release. There's always one. Come on. Right, into the corner. If you move this time, I'm going to give up. Because if this was a video that I was just, you know, going to put on my YouTube channel, I'd just abandon it and start, you know, delete that recording and start again. Although we are on number 3, aren't we? So that, I'm not very good at editing. I haven't got my head around that. I don't have the time, basically. Okay, they look good. I'm happy with them. Right, so that's our Dancing Giro. And remember, she has got her little slipper that she loses because she's meant to be Cinderella and her prince. But as Jean said, you can definitely use it for anniversary cards and wedding cards. Will this mask stick? That's the question. So we're going to put the Castle Tower on. Into the corner. And the mask will come off. Off it comes. Grrr. I don't know why I bother putting it on to begin with, actually. That's what I'll do. When I do the carriage, I won't actually put it on until after I place the carriage. I'll learn them. It's a little bit high. You watch, I'll end up with dirty fingerprints all over this one. So you're going to Morning Mist. I can already tell that's better. A bit of re-ink. Remember, press hard where you've got that mask. Just in the centres there where the windows are. That looks pretty good. And then we go back to where we were. Hopefully. I'm not going to worry about the mask for now, it's there at the moment. Where's my Castle Tower gone? Oh, just take it off. Here it is. And we want the carriage, which is going to go just over go there if you want. Like so. Right, I've just pushed it into the corner because it had moved. Let's pick that up. I didn't use a, what's it called? The carrier sheet, but that's fine because I knew where it was going to go. Because I've got a bit of ink there, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about this bit here. That's the only bit that's going to overlap. Into the corner. Right, you naughty carriage. Behave yourself. That's my chair, in case you're wondering, not my knees. Work hard there around the wheels where that's the mask is. A bit of trouble stamping the darker areas. Got lots of things wobbling on my desk. That's perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Re-ink. Do I need that still? I don't. I can fetch that off because it wants to come off anyway. And where does a carry sheet? There it is. This might not stick much longer. That's what happens. You can use them for a few times and then eventually they don't stick. That's going in there. We need, get rid of this. I need to get a mask on the tower. That's the Pencil Carriage. Where's the mask for the tower? Into the corner. Making that mistake again. Come on, where's the end? So with this one, it's easier if you can get that tower in first. And then get this tower lined up as well. Although that's not right, is it? That's better. Okay. And we're going to do 2 bits of stamping around this. What did I do with all my stamps? There they are. Take that out of the way. So we're going to have that thorn tree again. And then this is going to go up here like so. Make sure it's right the way on the edge. And I'm going to stamp that in Shady Lane. Will it lift that up? Probably. Oh, so. Get off. Shady Lane. Where are you? There you are. press along where the edges of the mask is. Oh, there's a sweet spot on my stamp about there. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to put the Almost Midnight, which is that lovely clock. And we're going to have that so it's over the edge of the tower as well. Honestly, the cat wants to go out now. It's because it's not actually 1 o'clock yet. 1 o'clock's his lunchtime. So now we're going to have the Almost Midnight, which is that lovely little clock. It's got foliage on it, and we're going to have that. Remember, you want 12 facing up. We're going to have that just over the edge there, like so. These masks alone, for heaven's sake. Push that up into the corner again. And we'll do that in Acorn, which is the lighter of the 3 browns. Again, make sure that you press where that mask is, you press a bit harder. Because of the overlap, it doesn't always want to stamp right the way up to the edge. Looks pretty good. So we're over the 5 as well, so oh, that's a little bit, needs to be a little bit dark over there. Okay, I'm not going to risk it, I'm going to accept that, that's fine. That's our clock. Ideally I'd go again because that's a bit light around there, but I'm not going to risk it today. Because I can't remember whether I checked it was right into the corner. So then we can peel off the mask here because we're finished with that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah. Then we've got our masked off area. Oops. Move it over a bit. You see? Nice and neat and tidy. Put this back onto the carrier sheet so we can use it another time. I'll sort that out properly in a minute. And then on the original I used the Know It's Beauty, and I used some of the fairies to be going up and down. I think we'll do something different for this one though, so it is different. So we've got that, I've got that, and I've got these as well. So I thought, let's move this around, move it this way. Oh, no, we don't want to do it that way. Which way do we want to do it? We want to do it this way, upside down, just to play with your mind a little bit. Thought we would try and bring in this Enchanted Branch, which is the one I forgot to tell you about originally, and we could bring in that about here. We can also bring in Dream a Wish here, and then we can perhaps get in one of the fairy princesses on the top of the sentiment. Like that, I think. So we need this to be quite near the top. In fact, let's have it so it's actually coming in right at the top, like so. Make sure we're right in the corner here, which we are. And we'll bring in that, I did it in blue before, let's do it in blue again. Okay, don't worry, Jean. You can always watch the end on YouTube later. Shit, my power's alright. I wouldn't have gone on this long. I'd be finished by now if I didn't have to restart this one. So this has got shoes on it and stars and oh, it looks like snowflakes, but it's probably just other stars. I know it's got shoes on here as well, so okay. I'm going to turn this around the right way now. Can't be doing with it that way. But when you're going off the page, you need to make sure that you're going off the page on the right place. Okay. I have a dirty mark in there, but we won't tell anybody. Okay, let's fetch this off. So that's your enchanted branch. That's that one. Use quite a few stamps on this one, but I haven't touched the Sleeping Beauty or Little Red Riding Hood, so as I said, I will try and do some other videos when I get around to it, probably later this week, perhaps at the weekend with the others. Just realised I didn't stamp that very well there. I might cut a bit off there to hide that. Dream a wish from your heart. So I have that there. In fact, no, I think I'm going to have it a bit further up. It doesn't need to be that far down. It could be further up. To the corner, and we'll black that. This is one of the new sentiments. I've only used the mice and the Once Upon from the existing collection. I also think the magical keyhole would work really well with the fairy tale theme. So I was saying earlier on my website, I've set up a new fairy tale collection section within the Fairy Hugs stamps, so you can find things a little bit easier. So let's have fairy princesses. So we could have one coming in here like that. We could also have, so I was wondering whether to have the Starry Walkway just under their feet like that. So we could do that, but we can also bring it in, let's see, I'm thinking about having like 3 of them. I don't think I can quite get her in actually. She could stand there actually. Oh, just on the edge. She could stand there. And then we could have, this is a faffy bit. Don't want her. We could have her coming in here. Let's get this done. I'm going to pick those up and I'll stamp them in a minute. Let's get a walkway on first, and then I might put a fairy on the walkway. This is a Starry Walkway. And so we could have the Starry Walkway coming from the pumpkin carriage underneath their feet like that, which I think Bonnie's done on one of her cards. Let's pick that up. We'll do this in Bluebell as well. They're not fairy couple, they're the dancing duo. Do they call them fairy couple? We have got a stamp called fairy couple, but these aren't fairies. I don't know where I keep on doing that. So we've got a bit of starriness going on there, so that would work. We could have a little bit more going on there actually. Let's grab the other side. I have actually cut a little bit of my stamp out there because I was making a mess. Let's just add a little bit here, just to continue those stars over, because I can. Back in the room, excellent. You make me giggle. Okay, so there we go. We've extended the Starry Walkway a little bit. So now, we're nearly at the end. We're nearly there. Some of these take ages to do, especially when you do them wrong and you have to start all over again. Right, so we're going to have this one coming in here. She's not right on the walkway, but she's a fairy, she's got wings. She's making that walkway magical for them. Okay, so now we're going to pick her up and we're going to just stamp these 3 and then we'll be done. So these are going to be in black. I've done this one before, so she'd be the problem. She'd be the awkward one. Make sure it's right into the corner. It'd be really upsetting if this last one played me up. Oh, can't do that, Julia, because that's where the fairy's going. Number 1. Number 2. Look at that magnet. Oh dear, what am I like? they are. Right, they're all done. Phew. Just a little dirty mark there that I've got to get rid of. I can do that when I'm inking around the edges. Or even if I can't chop any off now. It'll be all right. Something will be fine. Right, so there we are. There we are. So that's how it would look once it's matted and layered. Quite a magical scene. There's quite a lot going on, but I hope you've enjoyed that. So just to remind you that what we've done, so that's the third one. We've also done this one, which I might add to, I'm not sure yet. Sort of roughly line it up. And then we started with a really, really simple one, just because somebody had mentioned that the dragon might look like he was frightened of a mouse. So I put a little mouse there for the dragon to be frightened of. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and as I said, the collection will be available on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk from midnight tomorrow night, and for shipping to UK addresses, and it will also be available on fairyhugs.com from tomorrow. And Tanya will be on Create and Craft at 7 AM and 11 AM tomorrow. So I hope you've enjoyed that. You can see what not to do, and it's giving you some ideas on how to use your masks. You will find the mask kit sheet on my website as well. And thank you so much for watching.